Now, I'm with the claim of being a language tutor. I tutor in the correct sentence structure, communication, parsing, syntax, grammar. I'm with the claim of being an auditor. I audit all kinds of documents in common English language and correct sentence structure language. However, I am not with the claim of being a psychologist. So these videos in this series are for educational and entertainment purposes only, not meant to be advice or counsel. It's just me sharing my personal experiences and hoping that it might help someone out there who is going through some of the same things that I went through. I always feel like it's always good to have some extra tools in your back pocket that you can pull out at any time and use in any situation. Better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. And that's also the way I look at correct sentence structure. I had a guy that was commenting on my live feed the other day who said that they've been studying my channel for 2 years, and yet they had no clue how to use correct sentence structure. And so my thought is, it's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. That individual has spent 2 time periods of 365 days watching videos but not learning anything. Or maybe learning but not utilizing it. And if you don't utilize something, it gets dull and fades away. Basically. So my question is to the individual was, what has kept you from pulling the trigger on it? And they couldn't answer. I empathize with individuals like this. And my guess was that the reason why most people who say they want to learn this grammar don't learn it or don't commit to it is because they don't have a reason to. They've not yet hit a spot in their lives where they would need something as powerful as this. And that's great, because that means that they already have tools in place that are protecting them, are enabling them to hold a position and to safeguard themselves and their families. Correct sentence structure is so potent that, as I've said in the past, and David-Wynn Miller has also said, it's like using a wrecking ball to swat a fly. And I've said it's almost like using a nuclear bomb to swat a fly. It's really that potent. Maybe some people are afraid of it. I don't know. Some people think it's too complicated, which it's not. It's very simple. It's super simple, which is what attracted me to it. I could sense that about it, even though it seemed very complicated to me at the time. But once it clicked, and it's like riding a bike. It just never goes away. It's always there at your fingertips. As long as you remember the core basic rudimentary rules of the grammar and never deviate from them. There is no interpretation of it. Because once it comes into an interpretation, then it becomes fiction. And there's quite enough of that around. I think that's why it's so effective, is because so few people know it. Of course, if more people knew it, it would be more powerful, but I don't ever really see that happening. It's always going to be a certain select few who have a reason to learn it and have the motivation to learn it. They have the volition to invest the value, the time, the effort, and going through those trials by fire, learning it, spending those hours with workshops or studying videos or whatever. Those are the people that will learn it. And even the majority of them, I have found, will get to a certain point and just stop. Mostly in these situations, it's because of a cognitive dissonance that happens. I'm not saying this. My volition is not to offend or harm anyone by what I'm about to say. My volition is to state the facts of my perception of what I experienced in teaching this for going on 5 years now. In that, the people who make it so far almost get closure on the grammar but drop off is because they undergo a cognitive dissonance challenge, meaning they clinging to beliefs of religion or aliens or Galactic Federation. There's some sort of belief that they cannot certify, which would then be confirmed as an assumption. They hold on to an assumption as a fact, something they cannot prove. And so therefore, it creates a dichotomy and a resistance. They cannot learn the grammar and get closure on it because the correct sentence structure is about the facts and positioning one's claims as facts, whereas on the other side of that, they have this belief system about aliens or God or whatever it is that they can't certify. And so it creates a cognitive dissonance, and they would just rather not finish or hold on to their belief of an assumption as a fact rather than voiding the assumptions and learning, finishing, and concluding their study of how to position their claims and themselves as facts. I know that was a mouthful. I hope it made sense. But that's what I've found without fail. I've actually had written contracts with people, helped them write contracts, who did have beliefs in God and things like that. And then I would have to basically grill them on it to the extent that they had to give me closure on what God was as a fact for them. Like, what is God? How can you certify that to me? Because two is certification. If you can't certify it to me, then I'm not going to be participating with it as a fact. And I'm not going to be doing this contract. And although it's very, few and far in between, I actually have one individual who was able to do that. And that's the depth of closure that you need for any fact on your contracts. You have to be able to convey that closure to another individual, not only using adverb, verb, adjective, pronoun, but also in correct sentence structure.